We go to Minnesota, where not even a church is safe.
What?
In the days after losing Saint Rene Good by that evil,
it's really hard,
evil ICE agent,
Kill the monster!
You would think one of the last bastions in that state that would be safe from the morons would be a church.
You sure about that?
Don Lemon has entered the chat.
Because you are gay!
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this, a fired gay has-been of a host,
stupid and retarded,
terrorizes a local pastor.
Fuck you.
No.
God! You can't make this shit up!
But it's what's next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Monday. New day, new week, and new massive amounts of bullshit. Of course, we're talking about Minnesota. Minnesota, the state that brought you, many wonderful lakes. The state that brought you the Minnesota Vikings. The state that brought you, I don't know anything else because I really don't give. But of course, Minnesota will be forever known as the evil ICE agent who took away the vaunted Saint Rene Good. Everyone bow your heads. Anyway, back to the story. You would think that with all the nonsense, the shenanigans, the bullshittery, the rioting, the federal police cars getting broken into and their weapons and caches stolen, people getting terrorized in the streets, you would think that one of the last bastions in that state that would be safe from all this moronic bullshit would be a church. No. Don Lemon has entered the chat. And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Sanctuary City radicals invade church sanctuary. Anti-ICE protesters invaded a church in Minnesota on Sunday, accusing the pastor of being a U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement agent. Yes, he's an ICE agent disguising as a pastor. More at 11. Anyway, in a live YouTube video recorded by former CNN, fired CNN, gay CNN host Don Lemon, protesters were seen storming into the city's church in Minneapolis. Protesters were heard chanting, "Hands up, don't shoot, and ICE out." Yeah, because that hasn't been done before. The originality is mind-boggling. Anyway, Lemon was heard clarifying on the video that he was not part of the group, quote unquote, and that he was there just to photograph. Lemon explained that according to ICE protesters, they had allegedly discovered one of the pastors is a member of ICE. Let's listen to a little bit of this moron.
Hey everybody, welcome to the program. We just got into Minneapolis a little bit ago and did some reconnaissance on the ground. I'm speaking to an organization there that's gearing up for resistance and protest. I've been pleasantly surprised to see the community coming together. Diverse community. If you see this when we first pulled up,
yes, remember all the peaceful protesters.
We're like, wait a minute, which operation are we at? And as it turns out, because we were like, well, this is kind of MAGA coded, right? Saw the American flag or whatever, but these are resistance protesters. They're planning an operation that we're going to follow them on. I can't tell you exactly what they're doing, but it's called Operation Pull Up.
That's enough of this moron. Jonathan Parnell, the lead pastor, described the protest as unacceptable, adding that it is shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship. Now, here's the bread and the butter. Here's the meat and potatoes of it. Colin Rugg on X. New, Don Lemon tries to lecture a pastor on the First Amendment after a mob of far-left leftists storm a church in Minneapolis. Let's go to the tape.
What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
Absolutely.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Yeah. We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very
Facts.
respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Facts.
That's why we're here. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding and
We're about
love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
No
Christian?
one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to
Unless you're here
chronicle
to
what
worship.
happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Don Lemon is a fucking retard. An absolute fucking retard. According to Mediate, while some churches' attendees were irate with the intrusion and yelled at protesters to beat it, the former CNN host defended the protesters. Of course he did. A number of church attendees were irate with the intrusion and yelled at protesters to beat it. Lemon defended the protesters, saying they were simply exercising their constitutional rights to protest. This is what the First Amendment is about. Freedom to protest, Lemon told the viewers. I'm sure people don't like it, but protests are not comfortable. Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Rights Division, Harmy Dillon, revealed that investigation has been launched into the potential violations of the Federal FACE Act. The civil rights investigation is potentially violations of the Federal FACE Act by these people desecrating the house of worship and interfering with Christian worshipers, Dillon wrote a post on X. Breitbart News' Catherine Hamilton had previously reported that the FACE Act, which was passed in '94, prohibits violent, threatening, damaging, obstructive conduct intended to injure, intimidate, or interfere with the right to seek, obtain, or provide reproductive health services. But in actuality, the law was written to protect abortion clinics, pro-life pregnancy resource centers, and churches. Like I said before, if I wasn't clear enough, Don Lemon is a fucking retard and a fucking moron. That's exactly what it is. What does a church have anything to do with the moronic idiocy that's going on in that city right now? None. The pastor made it very clear. He's attending his flock. It's about worshiping Christ. Christ is the only hope for that city, only hope for that state, only hope for that nation, only hope for this planet. Those are facts. So Don Lemon, who has a worthless podcast that no one barely watches, got roasted by then conservative Candace Owens, is now running around, looking like he's still a host of something, being that he got fired from CNN for being a total ass clown. But then again, this is Don Lemon after all. To me, I'm kind of surprised that the pastor didn't backslap his ass. No, but then again, I'll tell you right, the pastor he's the patience of Job to tolerate this, because I think anybody else would have done something very camera worthy. Just saying. And with that being said, I'm Giles Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please have a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.